All right, well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. Wow, what a wet couple of days we have had. Good news, though, rain has moved out of the area, and we've got a gorgeous weekend coming our way. You can see that here on our satellite and radar product. There's the rain. It's moving off the shore, and look what's coming behind it for the next couple of days. Just pretty much clear skies, maybe a few clouds here and there. Not too bad, though. Temperatures here at the 11 a.m. hour Eastern Time, 10 a.m. hour during the Evansville time. Mid 40s here across the area, low to mid 40s. It's still pretty cool, but we'll warm up fairly nicely today. But the bad news is tonight we will go down pretty chilly. In fact, National Weather Service has issued a frost advisory for some of the counties here in Indiana, shaded in blue, and we are going to stand a chance tonight to go down either to freezing or very near freezing. So cover up any plants that you've already planted out there if you've gotten spring fever already. All right, let's talk about temperatures. How warm is it going to get today? That's what the latest high-res data takes us. High-res data takes us maybe into the mid to low 50s across the area. So not a bad day. Pretty beautiful overall. Tonight, though, much different story. Take a look at this. We're going down to maybe 35, even freezing as far north as Indianapolis. So, yeah, there's a chance that we could see some frost. Will it be widespread? Maybe not, but some patchy frost out there definitely. So, frost advisory in effect for some of us. Keep that in mind tonight. Cover up those sensitive plants, and if you can bring some plants indoors, then even better. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon, not bad at all. We're going to go up to the mid to low 60s across the area again. Pretty much a great day. And then tomorrow night, certainly not as cold. Rain begins to start to move into the picture, though, again, as temperatures only go down to the upper 40s. Let's go ahead and talk about that. We've had some rain over the past couple of days. We got a little bit of a break in the action. How much rain did we get? Well, here's the graphic from the National Weather Service showing some precipitation totals. And look at this, just sort of a bullseye here across southern Indiana of 3 to even 5, 6+ inches of rain here around Corden, 4.53 around Huntingburg. We had about 4.5 here also at the weather office in Huntingburg. This is at the Huntingburg Airport. Only an inch and a half there down around Evansville, but hey, that's still pretty significant. Lesser total as you head toward the north. This is going to have a bad effect on the spring planting season. Our ground was already soggy from so much rain. It's going to continue to be soggy, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going to stay soggy for a while because I got a wet forecast coming up for you. Put the future radar here into motion. Absolutely nothing around our area today or tomorrow, so your Easter plans just look absolutely beautiful. Got egg hunts later on tonight or tomorrow. Should be clear and dry for that. Just a little bit chilly today, a little bit warmer tomorrow, but we'll warm up nicely next week, though. Watch this, though. By the time Sunday night comes in, here's about 11 o'clock, and you see 11 p.m., I should say, Sunday night, and there's some showers starting to move into the picture according to the high-res future radar. Those showers move in during the overnight hours, so not a huge, not a huge rain event for this day, but it's only one wave of multiples coming our way. Let me show you this out and how it shakes out on the GFS over the next few days. High pressure large and in charge of us eventually moves off to the east. By the time Sunday night into Monday morning comes around, there's those scattered shower chances coming in. Monday's chances look about the lowest that we're going to see through the week. So if you have to do some things outdoors next week at work, Monday would probably be your better day. Tuesday through Friday look just downright wet. In fact, here's by 7 a.m. Tuesday morning, some heavy rain potentially over the area. That wave moves out, and then possibly, look at this, by the time Wednesday, more rain comes in. Thursday, more rain comes in. Watch what's happening out to our west, though. Here on Thursday, we've got this developing low pressure system, and it's a pretty deep low. Notice the axis on the trough here, though, is negatively tilted. That's not what we want to see. That's indicative of the potential for some severe weather. So we'll talk about that here in a second. That moves out, though, and take a look at this. By the time Friday comes in, that starts to move towards us. But notice the front here, which would be right about here, going down, starting to elongate and occlude from that. So that would be indicative potentially of a weakening system as it comes to us. But it could be a pretty significant system just to our west, so it's something that we're going to have to monitor. Either way, it's going to be wet all the way through Friday. Now, let's talk about our severe weather chances. Here is your day 5 outlook. So this would be for Wednesday. Severe weather, the Storm Prediction Center already outlined a 15% hatch to our west. Day 6, Thursday, look at this. They've already outlined an enhanced risk in that 30% area just to our west. Slight risk over us, and you can guarantee that the marginal risk would be over us for sure. So there would be a chance, at least marginally, for some severe weather on Thursday. Now, the logical conclusion is if this was Wednesday and this is Thursday, by Friday, does that switch over to us? By Friday, they say predictability too low. Bottom line is, with the front starting to occlude out like that, it is too hard at this point to predict. Right now, parameters look pretty good on Wednesday and Thursday for some severe weather to our west. Will that translate into severe weather for us on Friday? Too early to know at this point, with the front just starting to detach itself from that low pressure and starting to go in two different directions. That's a sign of a weakening system. So, and that's a good thing, because we don't necessarily need severe weather, but it's something that we'll keep an eye on over the coming days. This is certainly, 7 days out, so we got a lot of time here to deal with that. So just keep it tuned here to Southern Indiana weather over the course of the week, and I'll keep you updated. Bottom line, no matter whether we get severe weather or not, lots of rain on the way. Take a look what the GFS says for precipitation. Keep in mind, some of us already had 4 to 6 inches of rain, and at the minimum, everybody had pretty much 1 or 2 inches. So we've already got some significant rainfall on top of already soggy ground already. Look what we've got coming our way. GFS suggesting another 2 to 3, maybe 4+ inches area wide in spots again. So this is going to be a soggy week. But at least the temperatures will be warm. We switch over to the GFS ensembles. Take a look at our 16-day temp spread. Look at this. Not bad at all. Again, cool today and starting to warm tomorrow. Monday's still a little on the chilly side, but look at this. Some 70s as far as you can see here for a while, until later in the period when we go down to the low 60s again. But hey, this is pretty nice weather. The later we get into spring, the higher this is going to go. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised for us to hit 80 this week at some point in time, if we can get some breaks in the sun on Thursday. The ensembles here are only predicting about 76, but I could see us potentially going a little bit higher than that. Here's my forecast, and go to southernindianaweather.com, click on 10-day forecast. Again, mid to upper 50s today, mostly sunny skies, beautiful. Frost advisory in effect tonight. We're going down to about 35 here at the weather office in Huntingburg. You go a little bit north of here, you may end up being a little bit cooler than that. So keep that in mind. Again, bring those sensitive plants indoors. Warmer tomorrow, though, 65 for your high, mostly sunny early. I think we'll get a few afternoon clouds coming in, but it's still going to be a pretty wonderful day for your Resurrection Sunday. Just beautiful. Some breezy skies out there, breezy conditions there as well. And look at that, not as cold Sunday night, only going down to 49 for your low. But again, some showers and thunderstorm chances start to move in. Better chances come in, though, as you continue on through the week. 65 on Monday. Into the 70s, though, Tuesday and Wednesday. By the time Thursday hits, the slight risk of severe weather just to our west probably would be a marginal risk for us. But look at this. I'm forecasting 78 for your high with the sun and clouds mix. Again, any instability that day could put us into that slight risk as well. It's just something that we're going to have to see, folks. Too far out to know right now, but it's a risk that we'll highlight and we'll continue to look at. 72 still for Friday with more showers and thunderstorms. We cool off a little bit as the front passes and only going down to the mid-60s, but then look at this, back up into the 70s again after that. So it's a very nice forecast temperature-wise. Unfortunately, whenever you see all of this rain coming in, you don't like to see that. That's going to most likely be a delayed planting period this year for farmers. So, that really stinks, but at least it's only the beginning of April. If it's the end of April and we're still talking about this, that could really cause some problems. But we got all month to dry out still, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope the wet period will leave us for a couple of weeks so we can start to dry things out just a little bit. All right, folks, that's the way the forecast shakes out for the next week. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, folks, and we'll see you next time.